Version 5.9.8 of EasyMorph Desktop and EasyMorph Server have just been released. Let's take a look at what's new and improved. With almost 200 actions, many of which have multiple capabilities, those new to EasyMorph can sometimes find it difficult to identify which action to use and how to implement it within their workflow. Even those highly experienced with EasyMorph might not know all of the capabilities EasyMorph has with a specific system. To help, in EasyMorph Desktop 5.9.8, we've introduced the Help Me Choose dialog. When adding an action to a workflow, a new button at the bottom of the left-hand settings panel can be used to open the dialog. We can look at all the capabilities of EasyMorph actions from two angles. Firstly, by searching for a specific capability and selecting it, EasyMorph will show us the systems or data sources which have that capability. We can then choose the one which is relevant to our organization or use case, and EasyMorph will advise us of the steps needed to use the capability. In this example, I need a connector configured for the Gmail account, and so I can select an existing connector or opt to create a new connector. When we click on Let's Do It, EasyMorph will take us through the needed steps, helping us to create the connector and then adding the relevant action to our workflow, configuring it with our connector and the required command. We can also look at all of the capabilities within a specific system or data source. This can be extremely helpful if the capabilities are split between more than one action. I know my database is a Microsoft SQL server, so I can search for that and select it, see all of the capabilities available, and let EasyMorph guide me through the steps necessary to implement it in my workflow. Also in EasyMorph Desktop, it's now possible to raise an issue on an EasyMorph Server Explorer board directly from within the analysis view. This can be great for raising issues about data quality problems whilst exploring and profiling the data. And best of all, we can automatically attach the problem rows of data to the issue. In Analysis View, we can raise an issue by clicking on the Send/Save To button on the menu bar, selecting that we want to use our filtered dataset, and then selecting the Raise Issue option. We can fill out all the usual information about the issue, such as the type of issue, the description, and who it should be assigned to. If we then look at our EasyMorph server board, we can see the issue has been created and the offending records have been attached as an EasyMorph dataset. The email command action has also received a new capability. We can now list all of the folders within the selected email account. This is great if we want to build a workflow which dynamically loops through all of the folders, finding all emails in the account. As we promised, we've continued to improve the EasyMorph Python integration also. In this release, the EasyMorph Python library now has two native functions for converting EasyMorph datasets to and from Pandas data frames. Although it was possible to convert between the two data formats previously, these toDataFrame and fromDataFrame functions offer vast speed improvements. In our testing, these new functions were often more than 100 times faster than other methods previously used. And finally, continuing the trend of recent releases, in version 5.9.8 we've added another new task trigger to EasyMorph Server. The Dropbox folder trigger works much like the file event trigger, monitoring a specific folder for new or modified files. Unlike all other triggers, the Dropbox folder trigger is the first cloud trigger and requires the EasyMorph Gateway service to handle the communication between your EasyMorph server and Dropbox. Don't worry, if you have EasyMorph Server Team or Enterprise Edition, you already have the starter plan for EasyMorph Gateway included in your existing license. When adding a trigger to the task, you'll need to first authorize access to the required Dropbox account. Once authorized, don't forget to enable the trigger and set the folder path and additional options as required. The Dropbox trigger is just the first of many planned cloud triggers, and more will be coming in future releases.